So with my personal project, the 1988 Honda Accord, or for any car for that matter, one of the biggest decisions that you have to make is the color of the car. What color are you going to go with? Are you going to do any kind of metallics, any kinds of pearls? Because the color of the car is the first thing that anybody's going to see as they're going up to it. And that's the question that I want to present to you in this video, and I want you to help me out on ultimately picking the color that this car is going to be. And I cannot wait for this.
And now, you're watching the If Fetty Wap is simply blinking, is he winking? And if he's winking, is he just blinking? Channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so thank you so much for joining me on yet another video. So the reason why this is a color reveal video and I also need your help on some stuff is because I already decided on the base coat, and I'll explain why I made the decision that I made, but there's also a little bit more to it than that. Now forgive me if I'm moving a little bit quickly with my terms. If you're not familiar with car painting, what the base coat is, that's the actual color. So you're gonna do a primer, a sealer, the base coat is the color, and then there's a clear on top of that. So the primer is just a gray, the sealer, you can choose the sealer based on what your base coat is. We're not going to get into that right now, but on top of the sealer is the actual base coat, and again, that is the color. So if you wanted to paint a car yellow, you're going to do your primer, then a sealer, then your yellow base coat, and then a clear on top of that. Or a red car is going to have a red base. So when I say I already chose my base, that means it's the actual color of the car. The color that the car is going to be is what the base coat color is. So speaking of that color, what we got right here, and I got it all mixed up already, except I have more gallons of this ready, but I just had this in a quart. This is just designated for the engine bay, but I got it all mixed at the same exact time. Now that's a good idea to do it to make sure your color match is going to be as good as possible. So here's the color. So here it is. Now this color, this is off of a new Toyota Tacoma, and it's actually called Quicksand. If you've ever seen this car in traffic, it's just a newer Toyota Tacoma. It's always stuck out to me as a really nice color. It's kind of a beige brown. I think it looks really good. It looks really rugged. There's no metallics in it, meaning that color isn't gonna have any kinds of flakes or any kind of sparkle in it. It's just a flat color. Now when I say flat, that doesn't mean the clear coat's gonna be flat. It's just all color, no metallics. Now the reason why I chose this, you might think that's not a good color when I could have chose any color in the world, but you gotta understand I was limited by the interior of the Accord. The dash, the door panels, the carpets, the seat. Every single thing in that car is some variant of brown, so I had to pick a color that was going to go good with that. If I did some kind of crazy vibrant green on the outside, brown on the inside, that's not a good look. I mean, it might, I don't know, camo look, but that's not what I'm going for. I think this is going to be a rugged color. I think that this is going to be a good color, and I am happy with this. But now, I know there's a couple other cars painted this color, so now I have to make my color stand out, and that's where I need your help. How my color is going to stand out is because I'm actually going to be throwing a pearl mid coat on top of that. So it's going to be primer, sealer, base coat, mid coat, which is the pearl coat, then the clear coat. So what we have right here, this is just a gold pearl, and this is a violet pearl. Now the color of the pearl doesn't really affect the color of the base coat. It might a little bit, if any at all, but where you really see that pearl is where different types of lights hit the car going over different body lines. It really throws at you that color, but sometimes you might not see the color at all. So Lexus uses this. I know Honda, like there's a new Honda Civic color. It's a gray, but it has green pearls, so when the light hits it properly, you get green thrown at you. So I'm gonna put a pearl on top of that desert sand color, or that quicksand color, and like I said, we got gold, we got violet, and I want to spray it out on the cards, and then after we see how they look, I want you guys down in the comment section to give me your opinion, and then based on what you guys think, based on what I think, we're gonna have to commit to one of these. As I'm getting my spray out cards ready, I want to have 3 cards for each pearl. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'm going to mess with the number of coats that I do, because the amount of coats that you do messes with how much pearl you're going to see. So this is going to be V for violet. This is going to be G for gold. You don't even got to label that. You'll see it. And then this is going to be 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats. So I'm going to get these hung up, and then I guess we're going to mix stuff, and then we're going to go for it. so my base coat went down just fine, and as you can see right now, it doesn't have a gloss finish. It's almost a semi-gloss finish, more of a flat finish. That's just how the base coat is going to look, and you can see a real subtle difference. I don't know if the camera will even pick it up from the black and the white sealer below it. So the base looks all good. That's pretty self-explanatory. Now what I have mixed up right here, we're actually going to start off with the violet. So this, even though it looks like a milky white, that is just the binder, and that's gonna dry clear. So all this is the pearls, binder, and a reducer. So if you see, you can't really see it on the stick until you get it in the right lighting. You're gonna see that violet color kind of dancing off there. So that looks really cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1 coat for everything, 2 coats for these, and 3 coats for that. So that way we're gonna see a little bit of pearl, a little more pearl, the most amount of pearl that I would possibly think. And if I don't like it, we could even maybe do more. I could turn the one that went to 2, I can do another one and turn that into 3. This one I can do an additional coat, bring that up to 4 coats. The beauty and the joy of doing custom stuff is you can just really do whatever you want to do. No one's gonna tell you how to do it, not to do it. Do it to where you like it. So let's go ahead and get that mixed up. First coat. Alrighty, so the violet went down. I think I'm gonna call it the perp. It's the violet, it's the perp. Now if you can see, you can't really see the color. You know, as you're looking at it, it kind of just looks like that desert sand color. But if light hits it in the right area, you can really see it. Let me see, there you go. So that's where that purple is gonna dance. And it looks a little different on camera just because it's really hyper focused in that area. So we have 1 coat on this one. It's a little bit more subtle. You can barely just see the violet. This one's 2 coats. You can see it a little bit more. This one is 3 coats. That looks pretty similar to 2 coats. I think that the key is going to be 2 coats. So as you can see, where the light is not, you can't see it at all. Because up top where it looks crazy purple, it doesn't look too purple now. The bottom is really purple. Bring the light away, the bottom just looks normal. So that's what the pearl does. That's how it works. And it does manipulate the color just a little bit. And what you're seeing is the lights in the shop hitting it. There's definitely areas where you can't see it at all until the light hits. So right there, you can't even see it. Then if we bring it around, you can see it pretty well. So 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats. Quicksand with a violet pearl. So I know some of you guys might be thinking a violet and a beige, that's awful. It doesn't look good, doesn't sound good, but I think this looks pretty good. And one thing that you gotta understand about this car has to be wow. Everything about it is wow. Rear wheel drive, LS swap, big old V8 and a little old flip up headlights Accord. Everything's gotta be a little bit crazy, and that's what I'm a little bit worried about. The gold on the beige, it's not gonna be so out there in your face. It's gonna look good. Well, let's just get the gold sprayed out and then we'll kind of get together on some of my thoughts. And again, comment section down below. If you don't normally comment, I want you to comment on this one and give me your opinion. Give me your thoughts. What do you think about the pearl, violet versus gold? Alrighty, so coming around, here's the gold. Now when the light hits it, it just completely turns crazy gold. I wish I could get the camera to focus a little bit differently, but you can definitely see it around that light area. And then again, 1 coat on this one, 2 coats on that one, and 3 coats. That one's definitely got the most gold going on. So it looks really good, really cool. I think it looks good. I like it. I think between the 2 colors, no matter what, I'm gonna go with the 2 coats. That one's just not quite enough. That one just seems to be a little bit too much. So the question is gonna be violet or gold. 2 coats is the answer as far as the number of coats. One thing that I definitely like about the violet that I don't like so much about the gold is the fact that the gold in the desert sand is such a close color. I mean, it's not a big punch in the face of difference when the gold kind of flares up. It almost just makes that look like a different base coat color off of a factory car, where the violet, that just dances a little wild. But I don't want to get biased, and let's just go ahead and see how the clear coat looks on here. Alright, so here we go. I just smacked 2 coats of clear coat on those pearls, and I'm just simulating exactly what I would do when I'm doing the car, because that's the purpose of doing a spray out, is you want to see how it's going to look before actually committing to it. And man, I'm going to have a hard time committing. I definitely want to know your input on this one. So as you can see with the light, it really gets crazy. That violet is super vibrant. And these right here, I'm just comparing the ones with 2 coats. I think that's gonna be the better ones to compare. So that's 2 coats of pearl. This is 1 coat of pearl. That's 3 coats of pearl. So I think that's a little much. The main ones that I wanna look at are these 2 right here. Now another thing, as I've been filming, I've just been showing you all the pearls, but if you look at it in certain lighting, you don't see it at all. And then when the light hits it, it turns it really crazy, vibrant. You can really see the gold, really see the violet. So what you got to do is just kind of look at it, see how you feel about it as it's on its side, meaning this would be the side of the car. You don't see it at all, but the roof line would be popping right now if the sun was hitting it, or if you get the right light on it, you can really see it. So that's the violet, obviously. And then right here with the gold. And then another thing that we have to consider is I have the subframe right here, and that's the red. So the gold with the red, how you feel about that? The violet with the red, how you feel about it? And then over here we have the motor. Now these valve covers match that subframe. It's just the same exact red, but it's kind of hard to get an idea of how it's going to look because the valve covers are going to be separated by air. There's going to be a little gap in between it. So if you can see, you can really see the gold in the sunlight and the purple in the sunlight. But again, on its side, all that pearl just goes away. So that's the one. That's the other. And then seeing it next to the red, the violet, looking pretty cool, and the gold. So as I was spraying it, I was without a doubt thinking that the violet was the winner. I was really in love with the violet, how it was laying down. So vibrant, so cool, such a one-off crazy color that's gonna pop when you see it. But seeing the red and the gold next to each other, that looks really good as well. I think no matter what, it's going to look really good. I think the gold is just a little bit more subtle on that beige. The violet just really stands out. So like I said a couple times now in the comment section down below, you can just say violet or you can just say gold, but I really want to know what you're thinking, why you chose what you chose, and also your vote is going to matter a lot more if you leave a like on this video as well. So please like the video, please comment, let me know what you think. Are you team gold, team violet? The reason why I'm comfortable with asking you your opinion on it is because number one, your opinion matters, but number two is I know that it's gonna look good either way, no matter what the color is, no matter what the pearls are, as long as the quality is up there, the build will look good. So coming up, we're gonna get the engine bay painted. That might even be in the next video, so leave a like if you can, subscribe if you're into what you saw, and I will see you on the next one. I'm out.